that if that was why they worked so well together. Miranova and Pierce had been stationed there for some time before Nash joined them, after a number of years serving in the Met. Whilst Clara continued talking to Pratt, Pierce thought about his colleagues. Although Nash was a native of Yorkshire, Miranova had left Belarus as a child, when her father had been forced into exile in Britain. Pierce himself, although Bradford-born, was Antiguan by ancestry. Three totally different backgrounds, totally dissimilar characters, who blended together to form a highly effective unit. Clara spoke, and Viv realized she'd finished the call. Tom was asking how it went. I didn't like to tell him how dire it was. Pretty bleak, Pierce acknowledged. Those places are so bloody impersonal. It's like going into a supermarket. And that vicar didn't help. He didn't know Stella, couldn't speak personally about her. It wasn't just that. He'd obviously done half a dozen today already. He was just going through the motions. How did you think Mike was? Like you said to Tom, he's bottling it up. It's as if a barrier went up as soon as it happened. He won't let anyone near. I wonder what'll happen when he does let go. And he'll have to, or make himself ill. Maybe what he needs is a distraction. I mean, a big distraction. You're thinking about work, aren't you? Not women. Clara grinned briefly. With Mike, women are always going to be a distraction, but that's not what he needs. Not at the minute, anyway. A case like the last one would be ideal, but they don't happen too often. Not in Helmsdale, anyway. Or anywhere else in North Yorkshire, for that matter, she added as an afterthought. At about the time Clara was speaking, a man entered his study and went over and unlocked the filing cabinet in the corner. He opened the lower drawer and selected a file at random from his collection, his hands trembling with excitement, his arousal almost painful. He took the video cassette from the file and placed it in the slot of the player. As he watched, his arousal became too much for him to contain. He unzipped his flies and began to fondle his erection. When the film had finished and he was spent, he walked back to the cabinet and began thumbing through the files in the upper drawer. His fingers moved the files slowly, lingering over each one. They paused longest at the fourth name. He pondered it for a long time before moving on. Perhaps it was a treat he was reluctant to indulge in yet. Not this time, at least, but soon, very soon. His fingers finally stopped once more. This time there was little pause for thought, little chance for doubt to creep in. The decision made, he removed the file and locked the cabinet. His choice was made. Now he would watch and wait. He read every biographical detail that he had painstakingly collected and collated, all written in his immaculately neat handwriting. The more he read, the greater his certainty became that his selection had been right. He turned to the photograph and studied it. She was beautiful, though not the most stunning in his collection. There was strong competition for that honour. After all, his standards were extremely high. Nevertheless, she would not be disgraced amongst the others. His tone was that of a lover as he whispered gently to the photograph. "You are lucky," he smiled. "You don't know yet how fortunate you are. You will soon, and when you realize I have picked you above all the others, you will feel honoured, because you are chosen." Detective Inspector Mike Nash walked slowly into the station at Helmsdale. The state-of-the-art building marked an innovative departure by the local authority. Faced with rising maintenance costs and a need to conform to an ever-tighter budget, they had decided to dispose of 3 Victorian buildings and replace them with one purpose-built unit. Nash was oblivious to his surroundings as he walked down the corridor leading to the CID suite, oblivious to the greetings of those he passed. His mind totally absorbed. Although it was now over 2 months since Stella's funeral, he was still functioning on autopilot. When he opened the door into the CID General Office, DS Miranova was alone in the room. She looked up from the papers she was studying. "I have some news that might cheer you up." "I doubt it. What is it?" Clara's eyes twinkled with mischief. "I bumped into an old friend of yours earlier today in the marketplace." There was sufficient emphasis on the word friend for Nash to look up. "Who's that?" "Lauren Robbins. Used to be receptionist at the Golden Bear in Netherdale. I believe you got to know one another quite well." Despite himself, Nash smiled. "That's one way of putting it, I suppose."